the GOATs, right? How you gonna sit there and tell me Steph is not in that conversation?
I said that before.
You get what I'm saying? You can't sit there and tell me.
I said that and people clown me.
In Steph's eyes, right? Think about what Steph said. Probably, I don't know. It probably sits from. It's Mike, it's Cole, and then it's me.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Curry looking for that opening. Steps back. Crossover. Fires away. Wow! Another three! James trying to harass Curry. Curry off the dribble. Layup off the glass. Shot clock winding down. Curry's going to have to put it up. Launches it up. Shot clock. Oh! He knocks it down!
He's not going to put Bron over himself.
See?
But he has every legitimate argument.
Steph Curry recently said something that seriously rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. When asked where he ranks himself among the greatest players ever, he didn't hesitate. Mike first, Kobe second, and himself at number 3. Most fans laughed it off and called it straight up delusion, but what if Steph actually has a case nobody wants to admit?
7 to shoot. Curry, deep one, bullseye!
Almost lost it out of bounds. Curry cutting. Oh my goodness.
See Murray at midcourt trying to keep from getting a catch. Here's Curry, deep triple. It's good! We're tied again!
You know, in the shot he made it tie towards the end, it's a shot that, you know, only he can make.
When you really break down what this man accomplished and how he did it, his legacy starts looking shockingly untouchable. By the end of this video, your entire view of Steph Curry might flip. Mid-court pressure, defenders refusing to even let him touch the ball. Here's Curry deep. From way downtown, bang! Tie game again. That shot he hit late wasn't normal. It was the kind of shot only he would even attempt, let alone make. Nobody else lives there. Before Steph Curry arrived, Golden State was a complete mess, and calling them bad would honestly be generous.
Hannah, I'm told that James Harden wants a trade to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Apparently Durant requested a trade from the Nets today.
This stuff is hard. And you got to stay together if you got the guts, and you don't find the first door and run out of it.
From 1995 to 2009, their win percentage sat at just 37.6%, the third worst in the entire NBA. During that stretch, only the Clippers and the then Vancouver Grizzlies were worse. Things got so ugly for the Grizzlies that the franchise had to relocate to Memphis just to stay alive. 5 playoff wins in 14 years tells you everything about how hopeless Golden State really was. Walk up to anyone in 2009 and tell them the Warriors would run the next decade, and they would have laughed you out of the building.
You and Dominique Foxworth are going to sit on First Take and say that Steph Curry will not be in the conversation for a championship in the next 4 years.
Curry against Horford, gets past him inside, off the glass again. Fakes, fires, three-pointer, bang! Steph Curry from downtown, a 15-point lead.
But to be honest with you, I don't see the Golden State Warriors bringing home another championship.
And then everything changed. Steph changed basketball history in ways nobody saw coming. His road to greatness looks nothing like most superstars because he never joined a ready-made dynasty or chased easy rings with stacked teams. Instead, the worst franchise in pro basketball turned into the most dominant team of a generation because of what he built from the ground up. That difference alone separates his legacy from almost everyone else in his era. Loyalty in pro sports usually sounds like empty talk or motivational posters, but Steph Curry actually lived it when everything around him collapsed. In 2020, the Warriors finished 15-50, dead last in the NBA, and every basketball voice declared the dynasty officially over.
Right? Think about what Steph said. Probably, I don't know, but probably sits from. It's Mike, it's Cole, and then it's me. Right? Like, he's not going to put Bron over himself.
See?
But he has every legitimate argument
and I asked the
to
question,
sit there.
Steph came back healthy the next season and dragged them to 39 wins, still missing the playoffs. Media members rushed to write Golden State's obituary and called for a full teardown, like it was inevitable. And this is where Steph showed he's wired differently from every superstar today. He never demanded a trade. He never jumped on podcasts to complain. His camp didn't leak frustration stories to reporters. And he never blasted the front office in public. When mistakes were made, he just kept showing up and believing while everyone else bailed. Look at how other stars handled pressure, and the contrast gets even louder. LeBron changed teams 4 times. Kevin Durant played for 4 franchises. James Harden ran through 5 teams. Kawhi Leonard moved twice while carefully managing his workload. This era is defined by superstar movement, and players jump ship the moment things get uncomfortable because ring chasing gets praised as smart. Steph looked at that whole culture and chose loyalty instead. And then 2022 happened, and everyone who counted him out got shocked. Golden State winning that championship blindsided the entire basketball world. Media voices had declared this team dead 3 years earlier, pushing a narrative that Steph was wasting the final stretch of his prime on a roster that couldn't compete. Most analysts swore the dynasty ended the moment Kevin Durant walked out the door. Every single one of those takes aged terribly because Steph dragged a team running on fumes to his 4th championship and finally claimed that finals MVP. That 2022 ring hits different from the rest on his resume for a reason. It wasn't about stacked talent or perfect timing. It was proof. Beyond stats or competition level, that title showed Steph never needed Kevin Durant to win at the highest stage. It proved the dynasty wasn't built on luck or shortcuts. When everything breaks down and the entire world counts you out, finding a way to win anyway is what separates real legends from talented players who never crossed that line. Longevity debates always circle around LeBron James and Kevin Durant aging smoothly, but Steph Curry performs at the same elite level and barely gets credit for it. This season alone, he's putting up 28.5 points per game on 47% shooting from the field and 39% from 3. He's already dropped 3 games with 40 or more points, including a ridiculous 49-point eruption that reminded everyone his peak never disappeared. Approaching 38 years old, he still shreds every defensive scheme thrown at him. 44 career 40-point games after turning 30 ties him with Michael Jordan for the most ever. And that stat alone should shut down every longevity argument, period. The same Michael Jordan everyone calls untouchable in all-time rankings now shares a stat with Steph. In one of the hardest categories aging players ever face, guards aren't supposed to age like this. Legs go first, quickness fades, and shooting motion slows down over time. Steph breaks every one of those rules. Analysts understand point guard decline, yet somehow this keeps getting ignored. LeBron gets non-stop praise for dominating in his late 30s, with entire segments breaking down his conditioning and longevity. Steph matches that elite production from a position with a much shorter shelf life and still barely gets mentioned. People locked in their opinion on Steph years ago and refuse to update it when new evidence smacks them in the face. The numbers don't lie, even if fans choose to look the other way. His professionalism also separates him from nearly every star in today's player empowerment era, and his approach feels almost old school by comparison. Players jump on podcasts every week to air out franchise drama. Instagram posts demanding trades are now normal. Stars push media narratives to protect their image, even if it means throwing teammates or coaches under the bus. Steph does none of that and handles business like someone cut from a different generation. Clock in, dominate at an elite level, clock out, repeat. When the Warriors struggled, Steph never blamed teammates in interviews or press conferences. Front office decisions frustrated him at times, but he kept that private. Media tried nonstop to pull him into controversy, and every single time, He refused the bait. Franchise players who carry themselves like this are becoming rare, and that leadership matters way more than casual fans realize. You can compare Steph to legends like Kobe, Magic, or Duncan across eras, but the more revealing breakdown is how he stacks up against his own generation. That comparison leaves him standing alone. His peers followed the same blueprint, chase rings through super teams, leave the moment real obstacles show up, and prioritize championships over loyalty. That behavior became normal, and nobody really criticizes it anymore. But that changes how accomplishments should be judged compared to someone who chose the harder road. Carmelo Anthony tried to build something real in New York and watched it fall apart while the Knicks stayed dysfunctional. Shaq reached the finals early in Orlando, lost, and immediately jumped to Los Angeles once a better situation appeared. Even some of the most dominant and physically gifted players ever couldn't do what Steph Curry pulled off. Building a dynasty from nothing, keeping it alive through dark years, and walking away with your legacy stronger takes more than raw talent. It takes belief, patience, and leadership. Steph's 30s alone produced a resume that rivals almost anyone in league history. 2 championships headlined that decade of dominance, along with a Finals MVP, 7 All-NBA selections, and a scoring title. Those are career-defining achievements for most players at any age. All of this happened while rosters were constantly reshaped around him, and key teammates missed major time with injuries during crucial stretches. Through it all, Steph stayed steady, productive, and undeniable. Everyone counted Golden State out again and again, and Steph kept proving them wrong every single time. Basketball itself looks different today because Steph Curry showed what was possible from 30 feet away. Teams that once laughed at shooting 43s a game now do it regularly, and young players pull up from distances that would have gotten them benched a generation ago. Coaches design entire offenses around floor spacing and three-point shooting. General managers build rosters with shooters in mind because of what Golden State proved works. Player development at every level now prioritizes perimeter shooting. Very few athletes in any sport can say they changed how the game is played, and Steph belongs in that rare category. So when Steph ranked himself 3rd behind Jordan and Kobe, it doesn't sound crazy when you actually look at what he's done. Building a dynasty instead of joining one takes more than talent. It demands patience, belief, and staying steady when results don't come right away. Remaining loyal through rough seasons while others chase easier paths shows character stats can't measure. Changing an entire sport while still performing at an elite level into your late 30s creates a legacy that will only age better with time. The real debate shouldn't be whether Steph belongs among the all-time greats, because the proof keeps stacking up every season. The real question is why so many fans, analysts, and media voices still fight to leave him out when his resume speaks loud enough on its own. If this changed how you see Steph's legacy, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still doubts what they're watching.